Please don't wreck the car.
That'll get so many views.
So many views, Mom.
Did you just say if we wreck the car, that'll get so many views?
Yeah, because you'll be live.
No, it wouldn't, because
I'll
how
edit
would they
it
know
out
it was going to
of
happen? Because nobody would go in there and edit it to say we all died.
Hollywood.
Nobody's here. How's there nobody here? Ah, people. Hey, people. We're on the road.
I left.
Got all my chillins there with me. That one there is driving. I am not driving. My hands are free. Hopefully that one's not going to be too irritating right there. No, you. It's not back to school day for us homeschoolers. It's our second day of school, and we are heading out to Lagoon because it's the last day that Lagoon is open, basically during the day on a school day. And so while everybody else is in school, we are heading out to go ride rides and have one last little party. But I didn't want to miss out on chatting with you guys, so we decided we'll just do it in the car and hope it works. So if it's all shaky and jumbly, I apologize. I'm trying to I'm holding the thing instead of setting it on my stand like I normally do. So hopefully it'll be still fun and we can chat and have a lot of fun. So first of all, I have to say, shout out to the person who told me I'm probably gonna need Botox soon. That really, you know, like, I felt really good about that comment. May I remind you guys, number one, I'm a 43-year-old mother of 9. Number two, YouTube live chat smooths you. These are not my real forehead. They are much more wrinkly, more like this in real life. So I kind of feel bad like I'm portraying something that is not, but I don't look this good in real life. It's YouTube. I'm telling you, YouTube live chat has some kind of filter or something. It makes me look really young. And I don't mean to look really young. Though I do look young for my age. But I'm not going to be getting Botox for these babies. I'm going to wear them proudly. It's also part of losing weight. Your fat just doesn't fill up your face like it used to. And the more you lose, the more old you can look. And that's just kind of how it is. So we're stopping here at the gas station. We're going to grab ice. And I am going to take a chance to look and see who's here. There are a few of you guys here, so be sure to say hello so I can shout you out. I see Tracy Burton is here. Hello. Our spot is here. We are having a great day. Thank you. And Debbie Lyman is here. And Tanya Emery is here. Hello, everybody. It's great. Keep putting up your highs, and I'll keep saying them. Jessica Ray from Houston is here. My kids are fascinated. Finn's trying to see what I'm doing here. You see how I'm seeing the comments here, Finn? Yeah. Draw attention to him, and he's like, never mind, not looking. So anyway, yeah, I am old, you guys. I am not young. I am not a spring chicken. These are all my children. I birthed them. I do have 9 children. My oldest is 22. Hey, Patty Gorman, welcome. And these two are the troublemakers right here, I'll tell you. Oof. Girls are a lot more fun. Oh, wow, that's fun. Here we go. So what do you guys want to chat about? We've just been having so much fun with homeschool. Yesterday was kind of crazy. I swear we didn't even start school till 1 o'clock. I thought I was going to actually lose my mind. It was rough. But we finally did accomplish some things. And today I kind of felt like we should have a break already. Homeschooling 6 different levels is pretty rough. And it's been fun though. But what are your questions about keto? What do you want to talk about? How's keto going for me? In my chat on Sunday, I know I talked about how I've been eating more at maintenance macros a little bit. I've basically been doing 3 meals instead of 2, but only showing 2 so that I didn't confuse people. I don't know. I don't know. You can't ask me questions like that while I'm talking to these guys. You just did. Yeah, you did. Anyway, yes, so if you're on the Facebook page, you may have seen that yesterday I went school shopping with my 2 teenagers, and I decided, since I was at the Teeny Bopper store, that I was going to try on some size 12 jeans just for the heck of it. I actually picked up 3 pairs, and all 3 fit me, and I ended up buying the ones that I felt like were the cutest. So it's not just if they fit or not, it was about which ones I wanted to choose, not just which ones I could get over my tushy. So that was really fun. So even though the scale has not really moved in 6 weeks, I mean, it's kind of gone up and down, but for the most part, it's kind of stayed in that 197, 198 area. I have gone down another size. So 6 weeks ago, I was 14, barely squeezing in, and now I am barely squeezing into a 12. So I'm pretty proud about that. I bought me some Massimo jeans. I don't even know if that's a cool brand or not, but we bought it at the Teeny Bopper store, so maybe. I don't know. It was still used clothes. We went to the teens version of Savers, Uptown Cheapskate, which is basically resale shop for higher level brands. Yeah, so anyway, I think it's been going well for me. Oh wow, a tough question. Any thoughts on hypothyroidism on keto? I actually don't really have any experience with that. I know that it's possible to do keto, and I know people that have. When I was on this site, who shall not be named, it got brought up a lot, but it wasn't something that I was trying to get experience with, and so I didn't really pay that much attention. But if you dare to brave going over there to Ketogenic Dieters, you might be able to search the page and find a lot of information on that. I don't know enough about it to speak to it though, because like I said, I don't have any experience with it. My thyroid has been normal. Even I've had it tested multiple times because of my weight, and there was nothing wrong with it. So our Spot says he's sorry that he's been missing our videos. They've been out of town for their honeymoon. They've been married a year and finally got to go. Oh, I feel you on that, man. I feel you on that. We got a tiny little honeymoon. It was more like a staycation. And we've only ever gone on one trip since then. We've been married, what, 24 years? Gosh, is it 24? 25? No, it's 24. Yeah, 24 years. You lose track. I lose track of my age. Half the time I think I'm 42, and then I'm rudely reminded that I'm 43 and almost 44, and I have to go, oh man, that sucks. But yeah, we didn't get to go on a real nice honeymoon because we were poor, and we're still poor. We've been to Oregon once, and that was it. That was really fun. We did like a road trip up to Oregon to visit Dave's brother. That was awesome because we took no kids with us, and that's the only time we've ever gone without kids since we got married. So that's crazy. We didn't even have a baby though the first almost 2 years. So yeah. You're in St. Thomas, girl. Killing me, Karen. Karen's my bestie. I was hoping I was gonna see you. Don't you live on the East Coast? Who lives in Georgia, people? Anybody live in Georgia? I am actually coming to Georgia next week, and I was thinking it would be fun to like meet somebody, but I don't know how to like tell you guys that I'm coming. But I am actually going to be, I'm flying into Atlanta on Friday. On Friday the 31st, I think that's the date. And I will be staying in Dothan for a couple of days. I'm going to be there all day Saturday for my brother's wedding, and then I will still be there Sunday and Monday. And so I have Sunday that I could get together with people. That would be a total blast. So if any of you guys are watching and you live near Dothan, Georgia, and you want to get together and you know a restaurant or someplace that we could get together, please, please, please message me and let me know, or put a comment on here, because that would be too fun. Though my husband would probably kill me for meeting random strangers on the internet when I'm on the other side of the country. I was really hoping to meet Karen, but she's in the freaking Caribbean. I won't judge you on that, girl, because I'm jealous a little bit jealous. I've never been there. Let's see. Okay. Bittersweet says, my son says hi to your son. Which one? I got 3 in the car. Sup? Sup?
Jasper, say hi.
Jasper, lay down. His seatbelt's on, right?
I think so.
I sure hope so. Is it tight? Because I didn't think you could sit up that far.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Awesome. Thank you for saying hello. They love that. They're not usually involved in my live chat, so it's kind of weird. Yeah. Oh, you guys having a baby? I miss out on so much, our Spot. That's awesome. Congratulations. Jessica says she's been on keto over a year and lost 40 pounds and has 40 pounds to go, but stalled for 8 months. And your thyroid test shows normal, but they're still putting you on the Nature-Throid, or I can't even say that, Nature-Throid. That's interesting. I don't know. I really wouldn't be mad at you if you went on that board looking for help. They are kind of mean, but they do know what they're talking about, and they have a lot of more people that like know their stuff, and even doctors and stuff. So it might be worth it to check it out. The one that's behind my seat, it was you. Awesome. North Carolina, is that near Georgia? I have no idea.
It is.
I've never been to like, okay, that's not true. When I graduated high school, I went to Maryland, and then I lasted 2 whole weeks as a nanny before they fired me. Ironically. Apparently I wasn't that good. Yeah, Karen, are you going to be back this weekend? We got to get together. Maybe you could drive up. We can meet somewhere or something. I was really hoping to meet you. That would be really cool. Come to Colorado. I would love to come to Colorado. I could probably swing that, Wendy. We haven't seen you guys in a while. Are you guys coming out to Utah anytime soon? Because we should get together with our minions. She has 12 kids, so she's got me beat. If you guys haven't checked out Wendy's channel, you should definitely check out her channel. She's doing really awesome on the keto, and she has 12 awesome kids, so. Ah, they will be in Utah. We will definitely get together, Wendy. That will be fun. That's awesome. Hey, Mercury Fireball, good to see you. Yeah, we're not going on a very far trip. We're only driving for about a half an hour up to our amusement park. It's not that far away, but it feels kind of far sometimes, and it's kind of feeling like fall today. I don't know if you guys can see, maybe not. It's pretty cloudy today, and it's kind of just like rainy, and I don't know. It's kind of a bummer for me. I love summer, and I don't love winter. I don't mind fall, but the whole time during fall, I just keep thinking about and being scared of winter because I hate it so much. I really hate being cold, and now that I've lost so much weight, I'm like freezing in the summer, so I don't even know how I'm going to be dealing with winter this year. I just feel like it hurts. Like my bones hurt. Everything hurts because it's so cold. So I don't know. Oh, that is a really good question. Do I think of myself as a food or sugar addict? For sure. Absolutely. I think that that's not necessarily the whole cause of my issues with my weight. I really do think that my body just doesn't process carbohydrates well, because even when I was younger and I really didn't have any issues with food, I had a hard time keeping the weight off even at 10 years old. So like my cute little blondie back here is the same age I was, and she's not even, I think she's like less than 90 pounds, and I weighed 135 at her age. So if that tells you anything, I was definitely having issues with my weight before I became a sugar addict or a food addict. I never really was necessarily a binger. I never felt like I was a binger, and I never had issues with purging or anorexia or any of those things, but sugar definitely has been an issue for me, of course, because it just made me feel better, you know. And so I felt like it was hopeless with my weight, so I figured, why does it matter what I eat? I can eat whatever I want because it's not going to matter. And keto has just saved my life. Like, it's given me a new lease on life and more control. I feel like I actually have control over what happens to my body instead of feeling helpless to do anything about it. Does that make sense? So yeah, I definitely feel like I'm an addict. I had to be really careful when I started keto. I actually didn't do artificial sweeteners for a really long time, probably for at least 6 months. Other than my Coke Zero, I did keep doing my Coke Zero all the time. But other than that, I didn't even do like sugar-free Jello or anything until probably a good 7-8 months in. Sometimes I would sweeten some heavy whipping cream with stevia, and that was about as daring as I went. I didn't even use the Mio drops in my yogurt for a really long time. That was something I found later. I would always use stevia and a little bit of vanilla extract in my yogurt before that. So yeah, I definitely have a lot of, and for people who are struggling with addiction, with food addiction, because it is a rough road. And it's hard when you're addicted to something you need in order to live. It's really difficult to go off of the things that you need to go off of when you have to keep eating and you're hungry all the time. That's hard. Yeah. Yeah, there should be no traffic today. There's no traffic because everybody's in school, right? Now there'll probably still be traffic. It's not California. It's not as bad as California, but yeah, there's traffic usually. What? Huge piece of plastic in the road? Okay, don't kill us.
I just straddled it.
I didn't look. I'm glad I don't know. That's awesome.
Couldn't swear there's a truck there.
So your experience with the sugar food addiction was to 100% cut out all of your addiction foods. Does that include any kind of substitute? So are you cutting out like even sugar substitutes like ice creams like Enlightened or keto treats, cream cheese with, you know, sweeteners mixed in? I know there's a lot of keto desserts out there. If so, I definitely think that that's a good way to start, because if you don't, it's a hard time giving up the cravings. If you're just supplying your cravings with something else, it's really difficult to give it up. And I found that now, it's not the same. Like, I don't find myself craving keto desserts as much as I craved sugary ones. I still feel like I have a lot more control over that. But I am finding myself being a lot more hungry than usual and having a lot more difficulty with my electrolytes. I really thought I had a handle on them for the longest time. And recently, I'm just having a lot of muscle cramping again. And I just feel like I need a lot more sodium than I really want to deal with trying to take. I'm already taking 8,000 milligrams and I just don't feel like taking more than that. I should probably maybe, but I've tried raising my potassium levels and it hasn't really affected it at all. So yeah, keto, it's all the time you're trying to figure it out. I feel like it's all the time you're trying to figure it out. Just when I feel like I got a handle on it, everything changes. Mentally and emotionally, when things change, it makes it harder. And lately I've been struggling a lot with a lot of difficult decisions with my kids. My daughter did go to high school today, and she's like, "Are you gonna pick me up from school before you go to the amusement park?" And I'm like, babe, you gotta ride the bus. And she just looks at me like, and I'm like, you know, a whole bunch of people that go to school, I am sure you can find a ride home, but I don't know, I hope she gets home okay. But we couldn't wait for her because the park's only open 11 to 6. She doesn't get out of school till 2:30, so yeah, it's stressful with so many kids doing so many different things. It's crazy. I'm glad you are doing okay. The first two or three days can be brutal. Hey, Andrea's here. Good to see you. Welcome. Andrea's been doing a great job. We've been trying to figure out her electrolytes too, because electrolytes are a really tricky part of keto. And actually was dismayed to hear that there's doctors putting people on keto and not stressing the electrolytes. And you guys know that I have an electrolytes soapbox. I like to stand on it and beat it real good, because usually you just really don't feel good on keto unless you're supplementing your electrolytes. You just really don't. And it's dangerous. Low sodium can actually kill you. It can kill you just as much as high potassium can. So really, you really shouldn't mess around. If you aren't supplementing, you really should be. Even if you feel like you feel good, if you try supplementing, you might find that you didn't feel as good as you could have felt. And that is the honest truth. I've been helping a lot of people with electrolytes, and that's the thing they keep coming back to me and saying, is that they just feel so much better than they thought that they ever could feel. And so if you guys are still on the fence about supplementing your sodium, just try it. And I know people that have had a hard time getting it in. I'm I'm actually coaching this lady that's having a hard time even with just 2 teaspoons a day. She just cannot seem to get the Sole water in. And I'm just working with her and we're trying to figure it out, but she's always complaining about being tired and having headaches and muscle cramping, and I'm like, you've got to get that sodium in you or you just won't feel good on keto. And I don't want to make people feel discouraged, like it's not possible to do it without, but it's just really a lot better. Like, your experience is going to be a lot better. Yes, magnesium is vital as well. I recommend magnesium glycinate or malate. Malate for energy and glycinate for relaxing and sleep issues. I do not recommend oxide because it's only 4% absorbable, and I do not recommend citrate because it can disrupt your cellular growth and reproduction. It can just get in the way of your cellular growth. So yeah. Anyway, there's my electrolytes plug for the day. I have to get it in every chat. It always comes up. And you know that I didn't go out to the theme park without my Sole water, right? I mean, I've got it right here. It's all... You got to keep it up. He is one that says he doesn't need the sodium. It's our incessant argument, but you know, he's 16 and he's going to do what he's going to do. I can't control it. So keep telling him he'd feel better if he just do it, but he doesn't really believe me. Right? Yeah. Now he's ignoring me. He's like, I don't hear you.
I just noticed the tires getting a little wobbly at 90.
Yeah, you should probably not go 90 miles an hour while I'm trying to have live check and I can't focus. Slow down, buddy boy. Slow down. Besides, the faster you get there, the less time I have to talk to these guys. Right? Okay. Could chicken noodle broth help with the electrolytes? Without the noodles, don't eat noodles. Don't eat rice. Don't eat wheat. The broth, yes. Broth can work. The thing about broth is that most of the broths out there have MSG and a lot of them have carbs. You're gonna have to count those carbs. So it's not my favorite, but if it's the only way you can get it in, then yes, definitely. But you need to track it, so make sure you look on the label and see how much sodium is in one serving and make sure you track it. A lot of people suggest pickle juice. I don't suggest pickle juice unless you are in an emergency and you have to stop at the gas station and get a pickle because you forgot your salt. Main reason is because pickle juice varies in its amount of sodium and it's not necessarily trackable. It can help you in a pinch if you're miserable and feeling bad, but it's not something you can use for daily electrolyte supplementation because there's no way to know how much sodium is in it. Does that make sense? I'm just so glad I can help you out. Like, I still can't believe that there's doctors putting people on, even on Dr. Westman's protocol, because Dr. Westman worked hand in hand with Drs. Finney and Volek in writing The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living. They wrote together the New Atkins for New You, and they are like huge proponents of the electrolyte supplementation. So I'm just kind of shocked that they don't think that it's a big deal, because it really is. It's crazy. Yes, and you can, low potassium is dangerous as well. You just really need to keep your electrolytes in balance. Your body will, okay, let me explain the sodium potassium thing. So I don't have two hands. They work together, sodium and potassium. If you have a right balance, you'll have a right balance of both of those in your body. If your sodium gets too low, your potassium levels will drop first because your body will panic and it needs the sodium for more vital processes at the time. So your body will dump your potassium, which is why you get muscle cramping and feel miserable. Magnesium, same kind of issue. It's like that it dumps those two first because they're less stressful to the body and it holds onto the sodium, which is why it can cause swelling. So if your sodium's too low, it can cause swelling for that reason, because your body will try and hang on to it. In keto, usually you're just dumping the water off you and you don't really hold water unless your electrolytes are out of balance. So if you raise your sodium level up, your potassium levels should stay normal from your food that you eat. But if your sodium gets too low and your body dumps your potassium, you're gonna have to try and, I usually try and get myself a bolus, eat some really high potassium foods like avocados or leafy greens, or have a Zip Fizz drink. because the Zip Fizz has almost 900 milligrams of potassium because it's got potassium citrate powder in it. You can buy potassium citrate powder. The thing about potassium is that you can supplement a high level of potassium and not worry about your sodium as well. They like go back and forth. So if your potassium is higher, your sodium can be lower, and vice versa. The problem with potassium is that you can actually stop your heart by actually getting too much. So you have to be super, uber careful about tracking every bit. You have to make sure that even your meats and your veggies have potassiums recommended in the entries in your tracker. If you don't do that, you're going to be in a danger zone, because if you're supplementing like 4,500 potassium in your like potassium citrate powder or something, and then eating potassium on top of that in your foods, that's where it gets dangerous. So if you're going to do potassium instead of sodium, which a lot of ketoers out there do, just make sure to track it carefully and don't go above 4,500 milligrams. Now, this is just basic info that I have learned through studying. Another website that kicked me out because they thought I was stealing and like sharing their info. It's Optimal Ketogenic Dieters. So if you're having issues with sodium causing water retention, you can go over there and read their stuff. I will say that the guy who runs that page is a little bit on the wacky zone side. Like, it's a little bit, I can't decide if he's a legitimate scientist and he's just really brilliant, or if he's got a little bit of crazy going on, but he is really smart, and when it comes to potassium, he knows everything about it. So if you want to learn more about that, that's basic of what I have. But then they kicked me out, so I can't share that info with you guys because they didn't want me and sharing it with you. Just silly, but whatever. Anyway, moving on. I'm sorry that you're having trouble with, I missed your comment. Let's see. Random swelling. You could be sensitive to sucralose. Do you take sucralose in any other form? Like, do you use the Mio drops and stuff like that? Your sodium might have been too low. That will cause swelling. If your sodium has been too low and you start taking a higher dose, it will sometimes cause swelling for a little while. But me, I just keep having it, and I don't know why. It doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason for me, and it doesn't seem to change based on what I do. I can do anything, and it doesn't fix it. I don't know. It's kind of frustrating me at the moment. Can you tell? Because I feel like the scale is being really mean to me right now. And Andrea, you're being really sweet saying that I look great, but as we discussed at the beginning of the video, I swear to you, YouTube Live has a filter because I do not look this good in real life. It's kind of why I like YouTube Live, because I keep looking at myself going, dang, girl, you look good. And I swear it's not me, because I looked at myself before I walked out. I made a video, even put it on YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook and Instagram, and I thought, I look in like 40 miles of bad road. No one. But they hardly in real life, I promise. Let's see. Okay. So Lisa had the issue where when she first started Soleil water, she started with bloating, but then she kept on with it, and now she's doing okay, right? So that's great. Yeah, that seems to be the case, especially if you did keto for a long time without supplementing and your body was used to like running on no sodium or very little. When you first give it that big bolus of sodium, your body kind of goes, woohoo, and holds on to it because it's been holding on to it. It's been holding on to it. And so it'll hold on to it even more for a little while, usually at least a week. And then if you just keep giving it every day and let your body trust that you're going to keep giving it, it finally lets go of the water. And I'm starting to wonder, like, if that's my problem. Maybe I'm just really not getting enough for the summer months. I did lower mine, and maybe my body has not recovered, but it's been a month almost that I've had the higher level again, and I'm starting to wonder if I really need to up it to 7 tablespoons or 8 tablespoons I just don't want to deal with that. I don't know where I'd fit it into my life because I have it so regimented now. I don't think about it, and then I have to change things all the time. I don't know. I might try that. If by September it hasn't moved, I'm going to change some things up. That's for sure. And obviously, having an extra meal is not helping me. Obviously. Though I'm obviously still burning fat since my body is smaller. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Oh shoot. Is the signal going out? I'm kind of going around the point of the mountain over here. And sometimes it might be crappy signal, so I hope that you guys are still all able to see me. Okay, so how many meals do I eat in a day? Usually only 2. I usually have like a meal around noonish and then a meal around 9 p.m. The problem that I've been having is that we've been getting home a lot later, and I've been doing my other channel, and so I'm editing videos a lot, and so I've been eating my dinner, and I'm finding myself getting really, really hungry when I am out at dance with my kids, and it's really super easy for me to stop at the gas station and grab me a protein bar and some cheese and eat a little mini meal. And so I've been kind of adding a third meal in between. So I've been eating around noon and probably 6-ish and then 9, 10-ish. So I always make sure that I have at least 30 grams of protein if I'm going to do that. I am not having a snack. I am making sure to have enough protein to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. I'm also making sure that my meal is spread at least 3 or 4 hours apart for the same reason. If you haven't seen my video on muscle protein synthesis, I think it's called Can Snacking on Keto Inhibit My Weight Loss or something like that. That one I talk about why it's important to eat at least 30 grams of protein per meal and spread the meals at least 3, preferably 4 hours apart, because it's just better for your body for muscle retention and rebuild. So I try and take all the different little tidbits I learned from everybody I watch on YouTube and from Dr. Finney and Volek, from their books and from their blog, and I try and like condense it down a little bit and like share it with you guys in a way that makes it understandable. But it doesn't always play across well. I know a lot of people don't understand the muscle protein synthesis thing, but yes, snacking can inhibit your muscle retention, not necessarily your weight loss. So if your goal is faster fat loss and you want to keep your muscle, the ideal way to do it is to eat 30 grams of protein per meal and have your meals spaced out 3 to 4 hours apart. So even though I'm overeating my macros, I'm still trying to do that for my lean mass. And so I'm probably eating more at a maintenance level or close to maintenance, so I'm really probably still at a deficit. I'm not necessarily tracking, but I know what meals like meat macros at this point because I've done it for so long. I eat pretty much the same thing every morning, and I know that that meal is 60 grams of protein, 35 grams of fat, and under 5 carbs. So I know that. And then I know my nighttime meal is going to be about that, 60 grams, depending on the night. And I know which meals I normally eat and how much. So I need like 7 or 8 ounces of steak or 5 to 6 ounces of chicken with cheese to meet that macro. And so I just haven't been tracking that extra bar plus cheese. So not sure how close to maintenance I am calorie-wise, but obviously it's not doing me any favors, but it's what I have to do right now. And it's better for me to do that and stay keto than it is for me to go there and just get a Snickers bar and eat some, jump off the wagon. Does that make sense? I will get a handle on my new schedule. It kind of goes this way as we're coming into the new year, and I have a new schedule, and it's not in my head, and it kind of stresses me out, and I don't have a plan, and I haven't brought food with me, and I haven't made my meal plans out. It's just going to take me a few weeks to kind of get a handle on it, and then I'll get back on track. So I'm not totally abandoning fat loss. I'm just kind of not worrying about it so much right now because I'm pretty dang comfortable where I'm at. I mean, freaking size 12, guys. 12! Yeah, I mean, I never thought that was ever going to happen. So I'm feeling pretty cool. I'm feeling pretty good right now about that. All right, so I'm going to check and see if there's any more. Am I on Instagram? Yes. I don't post on Instagram as much. I'm kind of lazy about Instagram. I try, but I just forget it all the time. I forget it all the time. I remember to video my meals, but I don't remember to take photos and put them on Instagram. So I try. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds like 5 to 6 hours apart 3 times a day is perfect. That will work. If you wanted to do intermittent fasting, you probably need to squish them a little closer together so that you can give yourself that 15 or 16 hour window. But I'm not like the intermittent fasting super supporter, I guess. All right. Sorry, I'm just reading. 7-pound water whoosh is very common. In fact, that's what happens to me all the time. If you guys have watched me for a very long time, you'll know that during my dance competition season this last year, it kind of threw me for a loop. It was the first time my kids had ever competed jazz or, you know, regular dance competitions on top of their clogging competitions, which we are not doing this year. It just turned out that we ended up not doing that. But I was losing my mind, and so I did the same thing where I did the 3 meals, and I didn't lose more than 3 or 4 pounds a month during those, I think it was March, April, and May. And then in June, I went back to tracking and doing the 2 meals and immediately had a huge whoosh and ended up losing 20 pounds in June. So I think I had just been losing fat. It's just that my body was hanging on to water for various reasons. Maybe my body doesn't like the bars so much. Maybe my body didn't like the peanuts I was eating very often. I don't know. I'm secretly hoping that's what's going on this time, and that when I get to September and I finally get a handle on things, that it will go whoosh again, that big one. But my regular pattern when I'm doing the regular macro counting and everything is I will have, so I start with a week of gaining water, and then I do a week of maintaining that amount, and then I do a huge whoosh, and I go way past and way down, and sometimes I've lost 8 to 10 pounds in a week, and then a small loss. And that's been my 4-week cycle for months and months and months, other than when I feel like I'm losing my mind and I'm eating more than I should, then it's less than that. But then I caught up because I had the 20-pound loss in June. So I don't know. Weight loss is like the weirdest thing. It's so hard to, like, I don't know. Once you finally think you have a handle on it and you think things have a pattern, that pattern will go and change on you and you have to start over again. But the honest truth is, even if I don't lose another pound, I'm so happy eating the way that I'm eating. I'm very satisfied. I am more satisfied eating this way than I ever was eating carbohydrates. I literally never felt satisfied on a carbohydrate diet. I used to eat and eat and eat and eat, and then I just never felt like I was full enough. And on keto, I can eat my regular food, and I just don't feel like I need. In of itself, that is a blessing. He's gonna miss the exit. Ah! This is our exit, so I'm gonna have to go soon. I'm gonna get him his pass. Hold on. Forgot to get your parking pass out, man. Ah, sorry. Hope I have it. I do have it here, but I can't look and talk at the same time. Hey, Phineas, do you want to look for it for me? It must be in the main part of my purse because it's not where I put it yesterday. But I saw it yesterday, so will you look in my purse? Sorry, guys. Gotta find the parking pass or we can't get in the place. All right, let's see. Oh, this is my second journey too. Like, I actually lost 110 pounds a while back, about 6 years ago, and gained it all back plus 40. So I hear you. When I finally got past that 150 pounds that I had gained back, it was like the most awesome thing. And now I'm at 180, and I'm kind of like, it still throws me for a loop that I literally have lost a chubby person. You can't find it? Oh, man. Okay, Oliver, when we get into the campground, just pull over and then I will look for it. I hope it didn't fall out of my purse. All right, let's see. I know, yeah, 20 pounds. It was kind of the most, it was actually the most I've ever lost on keto, including the first month. The first month on keto, I lost 19 when I was 374 pounds. So I was kind of shocked. So I guess it doesn't really surprise me that this summer it's slowed way down. Because, yeah, anyway. All right, well, I'm gonna have to go, you guys. I'm sorry it was only 40 minutes, but we wanna, like, you know, get into the park, and I'm gonna have to, like, put you down so that I can search for a parking pass, or at least $10 bill to pay for parking if we can't find the pass. It was awesome talking to you guys. You guys are my true supporters. I appreciate you so much hanging out with me. And I'm glad it was just a few people today so that we could really have like an intimate chat. That was really, really nice. If you guys are watching this later, be sure to post in the comments and let me know. And don't forget, if you're in Georgia, to let me know if you're anywhere near Dothan, because that's where I'll be. And I don't know where that is. So if you're anywhere near there within like an hour drive, maybe we can meet up somewhere. So be sure to let me know. And we'll talk to you all again soon.